as a whole. This year, in celebration of International Women's Day, Norrenberger is hosting a panel of seasoned executives from diverse industries, and the theme of today's conversation is Empower Her, fostering diversity and inclusion in the workplace. Welcome once again. Norrenberger, as we know, your master's in wealth creation, is a financial service group that provides bespoke financial solutions that add value to our individual and institutional clients. With a team of experienced professionals, Norrenberger offers a comprehensive range of services, including asset management, private equity, development finance, investment banking, securities trading, pensions, insurance, fintech, and digital banking. Our companies are licensed, authorized, and regulated by the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, Nigeria Exchange Limited, NGX, National Pencom Commission, PENCOM, and National Insurance Commission, NICOM. So once again, welcome to today's webinar themed Empower Her, fostering diversity and inclusion in the workplace. Like we said initially, we have amazing panelists. And before I kickstart, I would like to introduce our panelists. We have here Yemisi Isidi. She's the co-founder of Thrift and a professional management accountant with extensive experience spanning over 8 years across strategy, operations, and finance. She's committed to supporting ambitious professionals, entrepreneurs to build profitable and impactful brands by gaining clarity, understanding finance, and accessing funds. Her dedication to witnessing thriving businesses has led to collaborate with numerous profit, non-profit, and government organizations across Africa and the UK. She has successfully launched micro, small, and medium enterprises into the business ecosystem. Welcome, Yemisi. Also on our panel today, we have Fola Niyidwale. She is a human resource expert and mentor who is passionate about transforming people's lives and career through strategic and supportive relationships. Her expertise over the last 15 years spans people management, learning and development, recruitment, performance management, business development, and HR strategy. She's the founder of Mentor Intro Africa, a platform dedicated to making a positive impact on the lives of individuals by offering guidance, support, and knowledge through the network of experienced and caring mentors. The platform's overarching mission is to empower and motivate individuals towards the attainment of their personal and professional aspiration. Also on call today, we have Queen Ehi Ujaman. She is a professional accountant with over 15 years of experience in accounting, project finance, fiscal management, financial reporting, budgeting, and project management. She has worked with private and public sector's clients across several industries in different countries. She's currently the Group Chief Financial Officer of Norrenberger and oversees the finance and operations functions in Norrenberger. Last but not the least is Olashipo Shubulela. He is an accomplished chartered insurer with over 25 years of experience. His expertise cuts across risk analysis and management consulting with a well-recognized track record in an executive board role. He has undertaken leadership training in Nigeria and overseas. Shupo is the MD CEO of International Energy Insurance PLC, one of the foremost insurance companies in Nigeria, and is known for his visionary leadership style that encourages people around him to push boundaries and strive for excellence. Welcome to our amazing panelists. I welcome all of you, and I thank you really for taking out your time today, to be here today for this very critical topic themed Empower Her, Fostering Diversity and Inclusion in the Workplace. Welcome once again.
Thank you.
Okay, so I think we should get to the topic of discussion today, and let's bring it home. And I'll start with Queen, right? So bringing it home, does Norrenberger have strategic initiatives established to promote diversity and inclusion in the workplace? And can you share with us some of these initiatives and then the impact they have had?
All right, thank you very much, Bidini. That's a very interesting question. All right, for us here at Norrenberger, I believe the leadership of Norrenberger is very much dedicated to promoting a diverse and inclusive workspace, as the leadership understands that you really can't, achieve diversity and inclusion by sheer luck or coincidence. So we're very intentional here at Norrenberger, and it's part of our very core values. So when you talk about initiatives and, what sort of strategies have been established in Norrenberger, right? I would like to say, again, it boils down to being intentional, with D&I. So when I say being intentional, we try to get it right from the get-go, which is recruitment. So in Norrenberger, the recruitment strategy is one that imbibes, diversity and inclusion. So from the beginning, when we onboard and when we're selecting, we try to make it as diverse and inclusive as possible. That's not to say, quality is jeopardized, because again, we pride ourselves, in hiring the best and brightest. So from the get-go, which is recruitment, we ensure that, we get it right in terms of diversity and inclusion. Again, in Norrenberger, we have a mentorship program. So the idea with the mentorship program is, senior leadership and the executive, take out time, to groom the next level of junior and middle management. And in doing that, again, we're very intentional in terms of the mix and the selection process for the junior and middle management, ensuring that, D&I is very much part of the team. Right, so we try to groom them and ensure that that mix is inclusive of everybody. Then another strategy we deploy in Norrenberger is training. At the heart of it is our people. We believe our people are our biggest assets. So Norrenberger is very big on training. We invest heavily on it. So we train our people. And in terms of training, it's very inclusive, because we understand that it's critical that we get it right and everybody's on the same page. And, training cuts across everybody in Norrenberger. So then finally, I would say another strategy which we also deploy in terms of ensuring we have a good D&I is feedback. We keep the communication lines open. We listen. We want to hear what's going on, across all our entities. And how do we do that? We have it in different formats. So from an informal perspective, the leadership, what I said, the leadership, the MDs, the GMD of Norrenberger, we conduct town hall, village meetings all through the year, and this is a very informal setting where the MDs, the GMD, they engage with staff, they're able to get a sense of the team structure, the dynamics of the people, talk to people one-on-one, get a pulse of, how they're doing, right? And, they can really relate and see things for themselves. From a very formal perspective, we conduct the employee survey. And at the heart of the employee survey is, we have questionnaires that go to staff and it's anonymous. So it doesn't get as unbiased as can be. So in these surveys, there are questions around D&I, where we ask people what their take is, and being anonymous, people, give this feedback as truthful as possible, right? And to make it very, very, true to home, it's also imbibed in terms of our performance management, set it. So, you know, the outcome of these things feeds into each and everyone's performance management process, right? So what does the leadership do with all this information and, you know, data they gather from people? So management sits down, you know, deliberate on this information they gather from the informal and the formal perspective, you know, and see ways to improve things, you know, if there are things we can do, if there are other strategies we can deploy, if there's a sense that, you know, we need to improve in different aspects, we do that, right? So, you know, that's sort of the flow chart and, you know, the framework for communication. So you've asked the question, what is the impact in terms of those initiatives and all the strategies that we deploy? You know, I dare say that in Norrenberger, 53% of our workforce is women. You know, that goes to show the intentionality in terms of the mix. At middle management level, we have about 50% also being women, right? And also, I'd also say in Norrenberger, I don't think you go into a Norrenberger office and you're able to pick or get a sense that, you know, there's a dominant tribe or a dominant religion in place. You know, those sort of things are almost non-existent because we're very big on ensuring that we have a very inclusive and, you know, diverse workforce. So yeah, so by and large, you know, for us at Norrenberger, diversity is at the heart of what we do, and we try to ensure that, you know, our workforce is as diverse and inclusive as possible. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Queen, for that insight. And we can actually kind of like appreciate the impact that Norrenberger really has had on its female employees, you know, from what you have just mentioned. But then it is also believed in the industry that it is highly male dominated. I think I want to pose this question to Shupo, right? So in a traditionally male dominated sector, what steps do you think companies can take to create a more inclusive environment for women to thrive? Shupo, I think you have to unmute, please.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much, Bidemi. Thank you. In a traditionally male-dominated environment, what can organizations do? Organizations can do a lot. First, the board of any company is the highest governance structure, and they can take decisions. So board decision on how they want the organization to run in respect of diversity and inclusion, particularly with the women folks. So board can take a decision to say, now we want 50-50. And that goes. Once the board takes the lead, everybody follows. Other things that can be done by such organization is the organizational policy. When organizational policies are being crafted, it is essential that diversity, inclusion is taken into consideration. So organizations can direct their policies in such a way that it favors a good mix of male and female gender and other areas of diversity, such as even age, such as even culture, religion, and ethnicity, and so on. So obviously, organizational policy should be geared towards this direction. Also, deliberate efforts at recruitment. Organizations can decide, we have 5 men in this department. We need to increase the number of women. So the next person we're going to be taking, or the next set of people we will be taking, will be women. I have a practical example, both within the system of Norrenberger and also outside example, where the organization says the next person to be taken must be a woman. Obviously, during interview, a man came first, and the second person happened to be the woman, and she had to be selected first because the policy says or the deliberate decision of the organization says a woman to fill that role so that there can be a balance. This is something organizations can do, especially at points of recruitment. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Shupo. I like the intentionality of board or executives at the top to ensure that such policies of including women in the workplace is taken. So the intentionality has to be there. And, you know, I was reading a book sometime, and then it stated that our male counterparts are usually moved higher faster than the women and than the female folks, right? And then the fact that women tend to seek mentorship, right, to move faster. And I mean, one wouldn't blame them, because studies have also shown that if you have some form of mentorship, the tendency for your career to succeed is kind of like higher. So I want to pose this question to Fola. I mean, she's the mentor, you know, she's the guru when it comes to mentorship. Mentorship, we know, is often cited as a crucial factor in career advancement, particularly for women, just like I've stated. What are the specific challenges women face in accessing mentorship opportunities?
Thank you very much, Abidemi, and good afternoon, everybody. So I'll start by saying well done to Norrenberger for an all-inclusive organization. Unfortunately, that's not the story everywhere, and we all know that. So kudos to you guys. I was very happy listening to Queen and talking about the percentage of women that they have, you know, and the strategic steps that have been taken, and also some of the things Shupo said, and, you know, the board backing and all. So for me, when you talk about challenges that women face, you're 100% correct, Abidemi, in terms of the challenges women face, you know, in the organizations. So over the past couple of years, we've seen women rise to middle level very quickly. But like I always say, once you go past that level, unfortunately, the percentage drops significantly. Let's even take some of the big top Fortune 500 companies. You have just 14% of women at that position, at that senior level. It drops significantly. Now, for our male colleagues, it's so easy for them. Well, that's what it looks like it's easy for them to rise. And what you find out at the end of the day is young professionals or young entrepreneurs already have mentors, already have people they look up to, because they've risen faster in their careers. They've risen very quickly already. So there's already that challenge there. You don't have enough women at the top. So the number of women that you aspire to be significantly reduced, but the men already have an edge at some point, because you have at that level, so many men are already occupying the senior level positions, the CEOs, directors, and all of that. Now, another challenge I would say that women face in getting a mentorship is some organizations or some companies don't make mentorship programs accessible. Or I would say they don't even have events. Again, kudos to Norrenberger for putting this together, and all other organizations out there that are putting events like this together, or programs like this together. However, we don't need to wait till International Women's Day. I always say this. We do not need to wait till March or the Women's Month to do this. There's several ways we can engage. You know, women are amazing individuals. I say to people that all the issues and all the challenges we face make us great. I'll share a this is a bit of an aside. A male CEO needs to go to Singapore very quickly. He can pick up his bag and just get on the plane and make a phone call and say, I'm off. And trust me, everything will go smoothly. Try it as a woman. There's so many things you need to do. She's smiling, but that's the truth. There's a whole village or a whole army of people or support you need to put in place, especially if you have a family, or, you know, you don't even have to have a family. Like, you just, it literally feels like you need to have all of this in place before you even make a move. So quite frankly, it's quite challenging. So the mentorship part of things, going back to the question, mentorship part of things, I think there needs to be we need to have more people, more women at the top, so that there are women that young professionals can aspire to. I would say we also don't have enough mentorship platforms. And this is actually one of the reasons why I set up my social impact initiative called Mentor Intro Africa. It's so dear to me. I've been in HR for over 15 years. I've been exposed to a lot of young professionals, and at different points in my career, I've had to handhold people. And I just found out that one of the key or one of the missing links I find with people moving up to the next level is also not having enough people that they can talk to, not having enough people that have walked the path, who are open with the challenges, the success stories. Sometimes when you see everything, it looks all nice and rosy. You don't know what's going on behind the scenes and all. So we set up Mentor Intro Africa so that we can connect experts with individuals and, who are also walking the path to see that, look, this thing is not impossible. It's possible to thrive. It's possible to do exceptional in what you're doing. And we just need to see more women at the top. So I think most of the major challenge we face is going beyond the middle level. That's the major challenge, and finding women at the top. We need to have more women at the top. We need to have more women that young professionals are exposed to. And organizations need to make a conscious and intentional effort to have events or programs that are centered around connecting us with each other and networking, so that we can thrive as much as we can. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Fola. I like the fact that you are connecting people, and mentoring them. And the fact that, times have changed over the years. Technology has made things easier, right? We don't really need to see physically one-on-one to access this sort of mentorship programs, or, so technology has made things quite seamless, right? Just like we're having this webinar, with different people from all over the world, and we can easily speak and talk about this very critical topic. Talking about technology, I think I want to speak with the tech specialist here. I'll come back to you, Fola. Talking about technology, Yemisi, as a co-founder of a tech startup, how do you see technology being leveraged to create a more diverse and inclusive workplace?
That's a really good question. Thank you so much. An amazing conversation. I've just been making notes. So thank you to all the panelists here as well. So one of the things that we do at Thrift Africa is provide collateral-free low-interest loans to businesses that are making 5 million naira or less, especially those in low-income communities. So one way that we've leveraged technology for diversity, or inclusion, and that's something that a few people have already touched on, right, is the ability to provide flexible working conditions for the women on our team. Interestingly, right now, we are 90% women on the team, and we all work from different parts of the world pretty much. And that's because of this is made possible because of technology, right? I've also seen people adopt technology in their hiring process, and even in terms of assessing finance. Okay, so I'll talk about the hiring process. So I've worked with someone who uses technology. They've been able to build softwares that enable people apply for jobs, and they're not able to know the agenda until they get to the final stage. That way, they feel like they are making an objective decision solely based on the competency and the capacity of the person trying to get the job, and not based on even the agenda or their location. We've also seen that being adopted with access to finance, which is something that I'm very passionate about. So to improve inclusion and access to finance, especially for women across Africa, we're seeing more investors kind of adopt a blind approach to pitching, where people can pitch their businesses for investment without necessarily disclosing the agenda, and then an objective decision is made solely based on the quality of business. And research has shown that this has enabled more women to scale through and access the funding that they need. right? It also provides diverse hiring platforms. So you're able to use different ways, and I've touched on this, different ways to access and identify people who can work with you, online communities, not limited to location. So we have a number of people, women working with us from various locations, even remote locations. And this is made possible, even the hiring process and the ability for them to work with us is made possible because of technology. Technology has also improved our ability to provide trainings, right? So whether we're working online or offline, we're able to help people be more efficient at their jobs due to online courses and trainings that can be provided to them anywhere, and even measure their performance on this role objectively. So those are some ways that technology fosters diversity and inclusion.
Thank you very much, Yemisi, for that insight. I said I was going to come back to you, Fola. I just needed that, clarity from Yemisi. So we talked about mentorship and how we can actually access mentorship opportunities. Beyond individual mentorship, what systemic changes are needed to create a more level playing field for women in workplace?
Okay, thank you, Abidemi. So I'll start by saying, and I think Yemisi just mentioned it now, or she touched on it. We need to rethink what work is. I was saying somewhere that COVID, made us realize that we're able to work from anywhere. Technology made it possible that, look, we're having things like webinars and all. So to be honest, women need to be given a bit more flexibility. Organizations need to embrace hybrid work hours or hybrid hours. They need to realize that as long as a woman is giving value, or as long as a female employee, let me rephrase, as long as a female employee is giving value, she's hitting her targets, she's meeting her goals. If she needs flexible work hours and she's able to appear for your meetings, and just let that happen if that's possible, as long as value is being added, as long as it's not affecting her return, what she's meant to be giving back to the organization. That's on one hand. So we need to rethink what work is in this part of the world. Things are changing today. We have people who are working in different time zones and they're still able to accomplish a lot. So that's number one. I also think that organizations need to make sure that women have equal access to opportunities, mentorship, and sponsorship programs. We've heard, I've been doing this for a while, especially from the HR standpoint. We've heard where people would say, okay, some of these trainings should go to certain sets of people. Again, kudos to Norrenberger. I heard, I don't know if it was Shuko or Queen saying that when you come into the organization, there's no gender, there's no religion, there's no, everybody is just, and that's also, they do that from trainings, they do that from recruitment. So organizations need to make sure that we have equal playing ground. They need to make sure that women have access to these same trainings, have access to this same mentorship. And I have to mention here that mentorship doesn't always have to come from same gender. No, that's the honest truth. Mentorship can come from men. It doesn't also have to always come from the top. We have mentorship that can come from your contemporaries, your colleagues, people that same level with you. We've even seen these days mentorship, we call it reverse mentorship. People mentor from down up as well. I always share this, that when I wanted to set up the platform for Mentor Intro Africa, because it's 100% virtual, and the reason why we took this decision was so that you can be in Singapore and you're mentoring someone in Zimbabwe. Say you're Nigerian or you're African, but you're in a meeting in Singapore where you're mentoring someone in Ghana. All those things. So, but I was really green when it came to tech. And I remember talking to someone who I met at some point, and he's probably in his 20s. He was the one, I woke him up at 12 midnight that day, and we spoke for 4 hours, and I was taking notes like I was still in school. And, and he helped in terms of, making me understand and, growing, letting me know what the steps we needed to take. So basically, I had to say that so you know that mentorship doesn't always have to come from the top, but organizations need to make access to women, for level playing ground. And I would say finally, we need to be involved in the policy making. And why I say this is because, again, there are several things that may hold a woman back. When we're involved in the policy making, you find out that we're able to put out policies that will work for us as well. So I think if organizations involve women in policy making, if they give us access to all, the mentorship, the trainings, everything that they're supposed to get, and also rethink what work is. I think these are deliberate, I would say these are deliberate moves that an organization can make to make sure that mentorship is accessible to everybody. Yes.
Thank you very much for that. So before I go to the next question, I have a comment from one of our listeners. He's Samuel Taylor, and he has stated that recent history shows us that women lead the way in managing resilience and crisis management, economic growth, good governance, and reducing corruption. Africa can access this resource by pivoting from paternalistic policies. And I do agree with Simon. We have actually focused on women in the workplace. So I want to take it to entrepreneurship, right? We have people who on their own have wanted to, okay, I want to do something on my own. I really don't want to maybe work for any organization. Entrepreneurship kind of brings a refreshing opportunity for women seeking to build their own career, their own way, right? So I think I'll pose this question to Yemisi. What are some of the major challenges and opportunities that women entrepreneurs face in Africa, and how does TreeFit, your organization, support them?
That's a really good question. Thank you so much. So I would put the challenges that women entrepreneurs face in 4 main categories, right? Or rather, the effects of these challenges into 4 main categories, and then I'll break it down a bit. So the first one is obviously access to finance. Only about 4% of micro and small businesses are able to access credit in Nigeria. And an even smaller percentage of that are women. And when people are not able to access support like finance funding, it means that they're not able to grow as quickly as they can and create jobs and impact their local community. That's one of the ways that we come in, right? We've been able to create, even for low-income communities, we recently launched an offline product for for people in low-income communities to be able to save and access collateral-free low-income credit that actually works for their businesses. And we are seeing tremendous effects of that. Not just even people in local communities, but also students and recent graduates who are able to do amazing things for their business with a small loan of say 100K or even 30K. And we're able to see how they're able to use that money to expand their businesses, create jobs, and create employment for themselves, therefore reducing the very high unemployment figure that we're familiar with, right? Another challenge is the access to market. So what this means is being able to identify customers who can afford their products and being able to reach those customers. And one way that is being addressed is through e-commerce. However, there are loads of challenges with e-commerce right now. First of all, there is the knowledge, there's the digital gap, the digital literacy gap that influences women to successfully set up this business. There is also the very high logistics cost and policy that makes it really difficult, or that serve as barriers for women to access markets, especially global markets. So some days back, a member of our community shared about how she got her first international order and she was excited about selling the product. She had gotten payments, everything. By the time she went back to the office to send off the product, the price for delivery had more than tripled. And obviously a customer would have told himself or herself that, oh, I've paid for this product or service and would not be planning to pay 3 times the delivery fee. And so that's how she lost that first international order. So there has to be a cohesive effort of both private and public partners to enable and improve access to markets for women founders in Nigeria. There is also the access to business knowledge, right? So in addition to my work at Thrift Africa, I support a number of accelerator and incubator programs for founders across Africa, providing technical advisory or serving as mentor or coach on these programs. And one of the things that I see again and again is people having very brilliant ideas, but no business knowledge or financial literacy to convert those ideas into sustainable and profitable businesses. So apart from my work on these programs, at Thrift Africa, we really prioritize knowledge sharing. So there's pretty much no social media platform that you go on for Thrift Africa and you would not find very valuable lessons, right, that can help you improve your business. And even in our communities as well, we value that mentoring, right? Exposing our community members to role models who have built businesses and getting them to learn from these role models through our various knowledge sharing materials and webinars. Another challenge that women face when building businesses obviously is the quality of staff. So no matter how fantastic your idea is and how sustainable your business model is, the quality of people that you're building with would affect the results that you create. Again, this is a cohesive effort of everyone involved. So the government creating policies that improve our education system, the quality of schools, and even people willing to pass down knowledge, right? And that is why, for me, one of the things I prioritize is staff training and just really creating systems and methods that enable young people to have the right knowledge and experience that makes them useful to people building businesses and supports the effort of people building businesses to address unemployment. So I think I'll stop there.
Thank you very much, Yemisi. It was a pleasure listening to you. You could actually go on if if you want to, because what you have said is a testament to your dedication to ensuring that, small businesses actually thrive in the economy. And we really want to appreciate you for that. Thank you very much. Queen, we actually brought it we brought it home initially talking about initiatives that Norrenberger have actually put in place. Beyond this internal effort, how can financial service institution collaborate with other stakeholders, such as educational institutions and NGOs, to create some form of diverse and inclusive pool of talent for the workplace?
All right. Thank you again, Bidemi. Right. So when we talk about diversity and inclusion, right, like most of the panelists have said, it's something that's all encompassing. So everybody has to work together, from private partnerships and financial institutions and even the government. But zeroing it down to, what's the contribution financial services can do to help, education and, NGOs. I believe financial services institution can partner with universities. They can offer scholarships focused on women in STEM. For instance, there's sort of a gender bias that, some people think STEM courses are, to be taken by males, so, these institutions can, offer these scholarships, to bring awareness, to encourage females and girls, with an intent of breaking this gender stereotype in career choices. I also think financial institutions can also partner with these NGOs, the ones that create internship and career development programs as part of their CSR. So, we have so many of all these NGOs that, women focused. And so these are the sort of NGOs that, as financial institutions, you can, engage and partner with them, to support them. And I also think, finally, like we're in this forum, we continue to lend our voice, to industry fora and, advocating for policies, that promote equal opportunities for women, in leadership roles. And, just to address what you've also said, here at Norrenberger, we've recently launched our entrepreneurship fund, so these sort of things are geared towards, encouraging the next generation, making it diverse and inclusive for women, for young and upcoming people to support those sort of initiatives. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Queen. It's really important that we kind of like bring people together. I know Yemisi did make mention of having people who have that sort of experience, bringing them together with people that are not that experienced for them to share knowledge. Knowledge sharing is very important. Mentorship opportunities is equally very important. Thank you very much, Queen. And we'd like to hear again from Shukwo. So Shukwa, do you think that diversity and inclusion in leadership can positively impact the performance or culture of an organization? Do you actually believe that, and how so?
Thank you so much. I'm one of the believers in women, and I believe that when we take into consideration diversity and inclusion, especially bringing women on board in all situations, we always get very positive results. Examples, I will just go straight. Organizations, countries that are led by women, we have quite a number of them. Obi Ezekwesili is a woman that led education. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, another woman. Mrs. Ibokwan Awoshika is a trailblazer. Mrs. Aminat, Dr. Mrs. Aminat Oyagwala is a trailblazer. Okweke of Main One, she led a company that brought the first international connectivity. Till today, they're still leading and making waves. These are women that we can point to, that we can see all over, and we can see what they're doing. And we must not forget our late Dora Akuili, where men said nothing will happen. Dora Akuili said it is possible. And this brings me to the fact that this is possible when you put women in place. And the truth is that they are deliberate, they are painstaking, they are meticulous, and when you put them in place, they always lead well, provided you provide all the necessary support for women. And that is one thing they will do. Again, they are very deliberate in their efforts at even carrying their teams along. That is, they affect the culture of any organization or group they lead. They are interactive. And you can see that this starts from home. Any home where the mother is not standing, the result is always wobbling. There is always issue. It's the woman that says, that makes sure the children sit and read their books to ensure that they pass their exams. Daddies only come and pay school fees where necessary, but the woman ensures their school uniforms. I'm just taking it to the barest level. Their school uniforms are well taken care of. They have all the things they need to go to school. Everything that makes them comfortable and able to achieve results. The same thing women carry to their workplaces. Women are usually not an easy pushover. When you have a woman in your organization, whether you like it or not, they will tell you the truth. Do you understand me? They will always try and communicate the truth. You may not like it, you may not accept it, but they will usually let you know that, why don't you do this? You can't slap them. You can't fight them, but they will tell you the truth. They are not easy. They are not easy pushovers. That is, you just want to do something, and when they put their foot down, that no, this cannot be done, you have no choice but to come back and get them to buy into your vision. You understand me? When a woman is hardworking, the team has no choice. They have to be hardworking. I know people in Norrenberger, when they don't close at 8, tell me who wants to go home. They are smiling already, but tell me who wants to go home. That's the truth. Do you understand me? And this is all over. Again, like I said, they are homemakers. Their life is about making things good. They are accountable. They are always accountable. Because at the home front, when they don't account, nothing gets done. And then things are never enough. But before you can imagine a very simple situation. When a woman gets home and gets into the kitchen, she looks at, do we have enough of everything for everybody? That's the first thing. So you can imagine it's part of their life, it's part of their culture. And then they pass it on. Even men, those of us that follow them in most situations, you have no choice. You will follow their lead. And this is why I agree. They are positive when they are positively minded, when they are deliberate, they will always affect their environment, not only in the way people do things, even in dressing. You know, women love to dress very well. So under such circumstance, if you are a man, you are following them, they are the ones that would usually get to the office and see that somebody is not having the right type of shirt, and they will buy and give you. They are encouraging you to follow this route. That's the truth. These are things you've seen, and they will do whatever it takes to ensure that you fall in line. This obviously will give any organization the positive result. They are goal-oriented, and they usually meet their targets. I believe that this will answer the question that you posed to me. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chukwu. You actually mentioned a number of wonderful women. Some of them, in fact, all of them are people I have high regards for and I respect. You know, I've read a few books, you know, for some of them that have written some books. And someone on our comment section actually mentioned someone, the Kems for what we're actually mentioned Stella Adedevo, and God rest her soul, she was very pivotal to reducing the spread of Ebola. I remember vividly. We always say Africa is the giant. I mean, Nigeria is the giant of Africa. So imagine we had Ebola all over Nigeria. I think Africa as a continent will be off the map. So yes, Stella Adedevo, she's late now, but we really, I mean, we're still enjoying the efforts, right, that she actually put in to curb the spread of Ebola. Thank you very much, Dickens. We also have a comment from Mary Ann Kuranga. I hope I pronounced that correctly. And she says, women are nurturers by nature, and this translates in the workplace when empowered. Empowered women in organizations are more robust in their delivery and tend to carry others along. And I think that was what you spoke to, Chukwu, talking about even the women in Norrenberger, how hardworking they are. And I mean, when they give you that command and they do things, you just want to follow suit. So thank you very much, Mary Ann. It's something we're also experiencing, you know, in Norrenberger with the strong women that we have in Norrenberger. Dickens for what we also wrote that women definitely have the unique flexibility to achieve physiological and basic goals all the way to strategy goals. I cannot agree more with you, Dickens. What you have just said is on point. I don't know, we just have that superpower. Queen, don't you agree with me? So,
totally agree with you.
Yes. So one last word, right? Yes or no. I just want to get, even if it's one liner from each of our panelists. We've talked about including women in the workplace, entrepreneurship, and building women, mentoring women. Do we think the women folks are ready to take this space? Shupo, I know you've said a lot, but let's just hear it from you. Yes or no? And you can just give us a liner or something. Yes.
Thank you very much. I can tell you for a fact, women folks are ready. They only need a stage to perform. When you provide a stage for a woman to perform, they will do even 101%. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So before I move to you, Queen, for a yes or no, we'll leave the comment section open for questions and answers, and then we'll read out your questions and answers and have our seasoned panelists answer those questions. So Queen, do you think women are ready? Even though I know what you're going to say, but do you think women are ready?
Okay, like you rightly said, you already know what I'm going to say. It's a resounding yes. Women are ready, and the evidence and the statistics speak for themselves. So at national level, sometimes we joke about, when you talk about even things like corruption, women don't go that far. If we bring it down to local level, and where they've been given opportunities, you rightly spoke about Stella Dedevo, in being very heroic in curbing Ebola, right? And we have the Okonjo-Iweala. So the mentors, the people to look up to, the trailblazers have come before us, and have made us know that, yes, we can. And so, yes, women are ready. And, it's up to organizations to ensure, women are given these opportunities. And I think that's one great thing that we're very appreciative of in Norrenberger. It's very big on empowering the women, giving them a seat at the table, and ensuring that, women representation, it's there for anyone who wants to grab those opportunities. So yes, again, women are definitely ready. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Queen. And Fola, do you think women are ready to take up the space?
Thank you very much, Abidemi. Oh, absolutely. I mean, I 100% agree with everybody. Absolutely, we're ready. I say women are magic. Women are fire. I mean, we are greatness. There's nothing you give to us, it grows, it thrives. So as long as organizations are ready and, putting the right structures and everything in place, you would see us fly really, really high. With all the challenges and shortcomings, we're still doing exceptionally well. Just imagine if we were more empowered, you would be surprised and amazed at how far we'll go. So I think we're ready.
Thank you very much, Fola. Yemisi, do you think women are ready?
Yes, a resounding yes, like everyone has said. And I think it's not just about us being ready anymore, but about everyone, wherever you are, whoever you are, male or female, intentionally providing opportunities for women to be included, to access the options and opportunities that can help them achieve everything that they want to achieve. So yes, we are ready.
Thank you very much. Adiola on the comment section says yes. Raphael says, can't wait for Nigeria to have her first female governor or president. Hope it happens soon. Chisom also believes that, yes, I believe Nigeria is ready to have women to take up seats in the national level. Iris says, yes, women folks are ever ready to take up the stage. Give us the stage and see the turnaround on all levels. Nonye says, women belong in all places where decisions are being made. It shouldn't be that women are the exception. Inspire inclusion. The Kems says women are definitely magical. I mean, women are definitely fire and magic. So she agrees with you, Fola. I think I have more comments below. Okay, so that is it. We'll still be on for the questions and answers. We're ready to take on questions and answers. We'll leave for 2 minutes to take up questions and answers from our audience. Our panelists are here. They have dedicated this time to have this crucial discussion with us. So the comment sections, is open for questions to flow in, and I know our panelists are ready to take on those questions. So while we wait for the questions to come up, I really want to thank you, our panelists, for the insightful session. We've heard a lot today. We've talked about Thrift Africa and what it is they do and the opportunities they afford us. We've also talked about mentorship program, and I think it's very important for us. Like we said, we can't overemphasize this. It's very important for us to share knowledge, for us to gain experience from people who have actually been there. I really want to thank our panelists for this insightful session. I want to thank our sponsors, Norrenberger, for always including, the women employees in what it is that they do. Thank you very much. While we wait for the questions, we just want to appreciate you. And where we have no questions, we just have to wrap up because it's close to time. So, okay. We have a comment here from Papina. Throughout my career, women have been some of the finest I have worked with. They make great colleagues despite having to deal with a lot at work and at home. Thank you very much, Pabina. And honestly, what you have said is straight to the point and very true. Women have a lot to mix up, but they still do it so perfectly well. They are mothers, they are carers. I think, yeah, Shuko did make mention of that. They are mothers, they have that high level of flexibility to do so many things, all at once. So I just want to check the Q&A section to be sure. Okay, so we have a question here saying, is Norrenberger recruiting for finance interns anytime soon? I would love to work with this organization. Queen, would you like to attempt that?
All right, thank you. And in Norrenberger, we pride ourselves in, attracting best and, brightest. So recruitment is always ongoing. So I guess the approach to this would be, to go onto the websites, follow us on LinkedIn, and, send in your application. And, internship is always ongoing. So you never know, there are possibly opportunities. So at the top of my head, I would like to believe, yes, we do have opportunities going on. And so by all means, send in your application, your CV, and, we'll be in touch with you.
Okay, so Anonymous, I hope you heard from our GCFO, her answers to your question. You can always go online and check up recruitment coming up and stand the chance or opportunity to be a member of Norrenberger. Thank you. Excuse me. Thank you very much, Queen. We have another question, and I would like Fola to attempt this, considering you're into the mentoring and working with people. Women's biological needs, childbearing and nurturing, have somehow had a negative impact on the perception of women's performance. Well, women will continue to have these biological needs. So how do we change that perception?
Interesting. Abidemi, you passed that question to me. Okay, so I would say, first of all, I'm not sure I agree 100%. I think, let me look at the question very well again. I think, yes, women will continue to have these biological needs, and those perceptions, I'm going to share personal experience. I would say, or before I share personal experience, I was listening to a phenomenal woman a few days ago, or I think yesterday on social media, and she went to speak somewhere. She's worked with Deloitte for about 5 years, and she was talking, and she said in the 5 years she's worked in Deloitte, she's gotten and she's had 2 children within that period, but she's also gotten promoted twice. So it feels like after every birth of the child, she gets promoted. And for me, when I heard that, I'm like, she must be doing absolutely well on the job. So first of all, I would say that is just a perception, to be honest. As long as a woman is giving value, as long as she's doing exceptionally well, I think those things are a thing of the past. Yes, women have all of this, some of these issues and everything, but we found a way to still thrive and go beyond all of that. I will talk about putting the right support system in place to help you. I'm speaking now first for the women. Putting the right support system in place to help you. Women need to also realize that we compartmentalize things a lot. Anyway, we're very good at multitasking. So I would say, know that there are times you might need to pour into your cup for your career. Sometimes you need to pour into your cup for your, family. So you're not juggling too many things at the same time. So everything is not pulling you from one part or the other, so that you're able to give value and correct these wrong impressions and perceptions that we have out there today. I would say that, let's just realize that women are doing the best they can. They're doing exceptionally well. And those perceptions are gradually fading out, because we're seeing women thriving even with all of these challenges that we're facing. I hope I have tried to answer that question as best as I can.
Yes, Fola, thank you so very much for that very expressive answer. I think I will channel this to Shupo. How can men support women in the workplace? I know you have addressed this in your speech, but maybe the person would want you to reiterate.
Thank you very much. Giving them opportunities, not downplaying their role. That is, as a man leader, give them opportunities, test their capacities, support them. That is, provide support, provide training. When you see an aspiring lady, young, middle level, whatever, support them in training. That is, send them for training to be able to assume the proper stage, that is, to assume the proper role. Then whatever, give them opportunities to showcase their capacity. Where they are falling short, do not pull them down. Help them to get to where they're going. And in the close future, you'll be happy you ever did. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Shupo. And there's a question from Pabina which says, I know the imbalance that has existed with women getting a seat at the table. Today, the promotion is women at every level across industries is front burner. The protection of the girl child is getting a lot of attention. How do we ensure that in trying to push women to have a voice and a seat at the table, we do not do this to the detriment of the men and in relation, a neglect of the boy child? I don't know, Shupo, you might want to speak to this question. So this is
whatever we do, we must ensure there is a balance. Whatever we do, for example, you have a situation where 2 people are vying for a position or are qualifying for a position. Give them opportunities to test themselves. If it's the man that is good enough, give him opportunity. Prepare that woman for the next opportunity. That is what to do. I hope you get me very clearly. That is, give the lady at least all that she requires to get into the next role. There is always somebody that comes first, and there is always somebody that comes next. So give them those opportunities. Where the opportunity is open and you need to push someone that you think has the capacity, and a lady shows up where you always had men, of course, there's nothing wrong in giving the lady a chance. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Most important, value.
Okay.
balance in whatever we do. Let there be a balance. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. I totally agree with you. There has to be a balance in everything that we do. Fola, you can take the floor, please.
Okay, thank you, Abidemi, and thank you, Shuko, for talking about balance. Absolutely true. I would say mentorship again. Mentorship. So Pabena says that, you know, the girl child is very, very true. We have a lot of platforms that are open for the girl child, you know, educating the girl child. Very, very true, because we're at the receiving end of things. But I always say that if we're doing that also, who's focusing on the boy child? Who's focusing on our male colleagues as well, because they also go through their own bit of things. I mean, sometimes a disturbed boy child grows up to be a disturbed male adult. So I would say opening up the mentorship platforms or the mentorship community, mentorship community a bit more, making sure you don't just allow people, if you're a leader in your organization or you're a supervisor or you head a particular department, don't just let people pass through you. I always say you have to make sure you're paying attention to people who are working with you. They shouldn't just pass through your department and, you know, they haven't gotten some kind of mentorship from you. They haven't gotten some kind of, you know, so if you're a man in your department and you have a young man working with you, or even a young lady, I mean, you know, you just have to pay attention to them. People have to flourish after that. You have to help people flourish when they go through or when they work with you over a period of time. So I say, if you find yourself in a position of leadership, make sure you're making a conscious effort. You are intentionally, you know, paying attention to people, like the young people around you, helping them to, you know, grow and thrive. This is going to transcend just that particular point. And you see leaders who have gone through, would I say season periods in their life. I say that bankers do this very well, because before we find a bank CEO, most times, not all the time now, sitting MDs already know that a certain class of people might be able to take over from them, and they have been part of their lives from entry level to, you know, SBO to what have you, all the way. So just make sure you make a conscious effort to be part of people's life, to mentor them, make sure they're growing. Don't let them leave after working with you for a while. Let them leave knowing that, look, I worked with someone and I became a better person. This is putting it as basic as possible. I hope that answers the question a bit.
Thank you very much, Fola. It's very important. One, there has to be that balance, like Shuko has said. Two, there has to be the mentorship and leadership, whatever it is, for any gender, male or female, throughout. Leaders should intentionally watch out for their subordinates and their followers to ensure that they are trained properly for succession. Thank you very much, Fola. So we'll take one more last question, and this question will be for Yemisi. The question says, what advice would you give to women who are interested in launching their own tech companies?
Okay, so the first thing I would suggest is speaking to someone who has already done it. So getting that mentorship, or get either someone who has already done it, or perhaps a business advisor who supports businesses who are doing it or who are about to do it. And if you send me a private message, I'm happy to share some more. Then you also want to, that would kind of help you and guide you on using the right business model, you know, looking out for the right investment opportunities, and just really reduce the number of mistakes that you make, because now you're able to learn from someone else's shoulders. I also highly recommend communities, right? Identify relevant communities for women or for your ideas and get involved, because these are ways that you're able to find opportunities. Okay, so those are like the top two. I think any other thing that you did would be addressed in the kind of support or mentorship that you get and in the kind of communities that you choose to join.
Thank you very much, Yemisi. So we've heard it all. And as we wrap up, I want to thank our panelists once again for sharing your voices, your experiences, and your commitment to the advancement of women worldwide. I want to especially thank Norrenberger for recognizing and celebrating the resilience and achievement of its female employees. In their usual supportive style, Norrenberger will be collaborating with our panelists from Mentor Intro Africa and Thrift Africa to offer mentorship opportunities to 2 lucky women and their startups. As we leave this space, let us carry forward the spirit of empowerment that has resonated throughout our discussion. Let's dare to dream of a world where every woman's voice is heard and valued. Together, let's inspire inclusion by embracing diversity, fostering empathy, and creating opportunities for all. Remember, when women rise, we all rise. Thank you for being part of the webinar. Happy International Women's Day. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Much.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Bidemi. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Abidemi.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us. Thank you.
Thank you. Cheers, bye.
Thank you.